There's a look at one of the most iconic sports venues in the lower 48, built back in 1957 under the title of City Stadium. We are at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New Orleans Saints and the Green Bay Packers. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
Let's go, 18 Gator. Topper, topper. Par.
They'll run it now out of the gun. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards. You know, I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball as well as blocked. Then you had a halfback. You had pulling guards, guys who could get out and run. And you can hear the great coach saying it back then. So we get a seal here and a seal here, and we run this play right in the alley.
Shrikon, 132 fighter.
Right back to him on first down. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. And that's about the easiest decline call you'll ever have right there.
Here we go.
Well, it leads me to one of my pet peeves, and maybe peeves is too strong of a word. But if you're going to jump off sides, finish the play. Make sure the play ends. Don't jump off sides and stop because you see the net result here. If you go ahead and finish the play, you don't give up that type of yardage.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Running right, here's Falk. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Got 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
He's got to double up. Kill. Hey, turn it up. 22 jet bomber. Ready.
2nd and 4. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Jair Alexander in from the corner to make the sack.
Box, right. Rock it. You got tight right there. Let's go.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Steps away to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. It certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points.
We go, son. 55 to mine. Check, 55. Red 80. Red 80.
Darnold on first down. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Hey, zoom.
Now it's Darnold. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's Darnold. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer first down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
You go, son. 55, 55. Red 80. Oh, 80. Here we go. Check. Stone, travel. Wide. Get wide. Tighten up. Red 80.
On first down, it's Brewer. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield.
He's taking it at the 50-yard line.
Hey, wahoo!
From the 50, it's Darnold. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 28. Darnold. His running back, it's complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
Check 37.
They'll try the left side. It's Brewer, and he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. A great effort there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Packers have taken the lead. Gonzalez good on the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Now they try the right side here. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 17 there and a New Orleans first down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
First down.
After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports.
Saints 3.
Come on, set, throw out, 10-2 stop. You got 3 down, 3 down. Get it.
Now a give, left side to Falk. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. But you talked about the need for them to establish the run early. They've been able to do that here in the first half.
And that means that the whole offense has adopted that attitude and that persona. We're going to take care of this young quarterback. Let's all get together and run it and take the pressure off.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down.
Let's get it. Here we go, set, 60 or. Watch tight, tight ends right. Watch tight, tight ends right.
They'll look to throw here. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
On fourth down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket.
The Packers take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down.
I got one. Check, 55 to Mike. Lady. 55 to Mike. Double dog. That's the way. 55. Come on, God, 55.
Now Darnold. And it's intercepted. Picked off at the 23, and he'll bring it back to the 9-yard line. They had him back deep, got the interception, and now they start inside the 10.
Partner forgets starting inside the red zone. They're inside the green zone. From the 10-yard line in, a lot of teams call it that because that's the money zone. Get it into the end zone and make your cash.
He's checking crack. Big ass. Check nine. Watch the edge. Hey! Watch twist. Hey, lock it. Switch gears. Slam. Sponge. No.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And once again, the Saints are back out in front. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 10-7.
Saints 10, Packers 7.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
Now throwing on first down and completing it. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Get that quarterback, D-line. D-line, get that quarterback. Ready? 55. Right there. It's it.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Big loss here as he's taken down.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week. We just saw their first one of this game.
After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's second and a country mile.
Play it. Ready? Let's go.
Back to throw, Darnold. And the pressure gets to him again. Marcus Davenport, the first rounder out of UTSA with a sack.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game.
56 to Mark.
Third and long, it's Darnold. And the throw there going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
At the 35-yard line.
2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 27 yards there, a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. A couple of plays sent him the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. They'll drop the throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And now off to the races, down the right side. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. Charles, I'm looking at you, and understandably, your mouth is wide open in disbelief. What were they thinking?
That's going to be one of the great mysteries, but I do know this. When they went out on offense, I will guarantee they told them, don't just make anticipatory throws. Make sure you see it before you throw it. Didn't happen here.
Trying to protect that lead, and now they gave it up. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Ready, set. Kill. Turn it. General West. Snap.
After the pick six, they go right back to the air. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number one. After the sack, they'll come up now, 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And instead, they want to throw it off play action. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position. After a turnover, I feel like I might have them a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you, you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn it into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
On 2nd and 10, Darnold under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Going up top. It's caught inside the 25. And he will finally be taken out of bounds. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. Gonzalez's kick is good. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
80 weapon.
They'll keep it on the ground. And a 6-yard gain gets them right around the 43.
That's it, baby.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On second down and 4, Darnold. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. On first down, it's Darnold. It's caught inside the 25. Give him 30 yards there. I guess that answers the question of whether or not they're going to try to play conservative and protect this lead in the third quarter.
And I think this is something we're seeing more and more of in the NFL. Teams not playing to protect leads.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Well, those first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
The Saints take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
2nd and 6. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. So that is 2 pick sixes he's thrown in this football game. Now, you take those away, Charles, it's a completely different situation.
It totally is, but guess what? They have to deal with what they have now, okay? So they can't just mentally go, well, if we hadn't thrown those pick sixes, we'd be okay. Here's where you are. Here's where you're going to battle. But guess what? They're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination.
This will be fielded at the 6, and he'll be out of bounds across the 25.
First and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And fresh off the pick 6. They've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long time.
There he goes, right side. Touchdown, New Orleans. A big play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Saints get a bit closer. Extra point right down the middle, and that will get them one closer. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Watch the out. Check 3, check 3, check 3. Shift. Watch the shift. Hey, watch it. Switch. Red 80. Check. Red 80.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Brewer. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Brings up 3rd and 5.
Here's Darnold. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
I would dare say that these guys would have liked to have given their defense a little bit more rest since they gave up a touchdown their last time out. But alas, my man, that's not going to happen.
Yep, they're going to have to grab those helmets, get right back out there. On now is the Packers punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Call that a 48-yard punt and made even better by a loss on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. They'll go right back to the ground with Falk. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape. And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Back to throw here. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down.
Delta. Look, squeeze. Go.
They'll try and throw for it here. He's going to float this over the middle. It's caught at the 10. Touchdown, New Orleans. A big play there with touchdown number 7 on the year as his guys are back within a single score. Extra point splits the uprights, and that will shave one more off this lead. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. Now they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get the clock and keep the ball away from their opponents.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. To throw is Darnold. And he's got his man on the out route. And he is out of bounds right around the 34.
Check. 55.
Darnold will throw it on 3rd and 1. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Give him 6 yards in the first down. Darnold now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Darnold now to throw. Open on the left side. This is Valdez-Scantling. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Mine 55, mine 55. Hey, eat. I'm coming for you. You mine. Kill. Red 80. Kill.
On 2nd down now. It's Brewer, and he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 4 yards the pickup, first down. On 1st and 10, Darnold. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Packers on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 14.
Topper!
From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. And that's knocked away and incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive, that culminated in touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now a handoff looking right. They find some open field here. It's a big play there for the Saints. 43 yards on the ground.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Go! Hard! Hey, alert 3. Check 13.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
2nd and 5. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
And to give this time to the tailback. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive, take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
They're going to look to throw. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. A 5-yard touchdown run as they can now tie the game with the extra point here in the final 2 minutes. Well, the hard part's done. Now they just need to split the posts, tie it up, but then their defense is going to have to hold up to send it to overtime.
Yeah, no matter what. I know there's an inclination in it when you have momentum to go for 2 here, but if you miss it, you don't give your defense a chance at all.
Plus, it's been a good game. I want to see overtime. I'm selfish.
You obviously don't have a flight to catch.
Tomorrow. Critical extra point up and good. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Let's go. 26-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Brings up 3rd and 8.
Darnold. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. Incomplete. Both players were there offensively and defensively, but it falls incomplete.
Now they're just trying to do anything possible to try and get the ball downfield and get into field goal range.
And with that clock dwindling, they felt the need to take a pretty big shot there. Unfortunately, couldn't complete it. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And they will get to this one and down it at the 13-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 13-yard line.
Got it.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play, but if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. Back to throw now on 1st down. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Now they try the right side here. And he's got some space here. And now off to the races down the right side. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 56 yards on the ground. And now they're going to get the timeout.
Let's go.
A huge play has them in field goal range with a chance to win. So now this one's going to rest on the foot of their second-year kicker. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. So now this one's going to rest on the foot of their second-year kicker. 2 seconds on the clock. This for the win. And it is good. He splits the uprights on the chip shot. And Bourbon Street, it'll be alive tonight. The Saints have won it. Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did.
So for the Saints, they keep pace for a playoff spot as they move to 7-3, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, it's a loss that'll drop them back to 500 through 10 games. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.